Hey folks, it's Cameron from the Brushfire Mind, and this is coffee. If you check out the link down below in the description, you can find ways to support us by buying us more coffee. Okay, thanks. Look, women that look like this. I'm so tired of getting catcalled.
Honey, no you're not.
No, you are not.
No, you're not.
I could guarantee you, you are not.
But here we go. There's...
Sean, real quick, Disney will never apologize. Changed my mind. You know, I might have said that, and suddenly we live in a world where CNN is at least attempting to have a brand new coat of paint that says they don't totally suck. So we'll see. And it could be that they've got all these bullshit garbage projects in the pipe, and they've got no choice but to shit them out and finish them. Batgirl would disagree, but I digress. That they've got.
Go ahead.
That they've got all these. They've got all these projects that they have to get through. So, you know, they're like, well, we've already spent the money on the CGI. Might as well put it on Disney Plus.
They didn't spend a lot of money on this CGI.
Yeah, no, they didn't.
And, you know, amusingly, the CGI for the Hulk looks a lot better than the CGI for...
Hear the waves breaking. Feel the breath, no judgment.
No judgment.
So when do you think I can leave
Let's just
here?
focus on each day as they come, Jen.
I mean, I legitimately do have a life to get back to.
I know I've been pushing you through a lot, but being a superhero is a trial by fire.
Bruce, I'm not gonna be a superhero.
What else you gonna do as a Hulk?
Return to my career that I have spent years building. Use my law degree that I am still paying off a fortune in student loans for.
It's not one or the other,
Joe
Jen.
Biden. I'm sorry. Not if Joe Biden. You know what? No. Look, we're not even to the painful part yet. No, I was just
Hey, real quick, Pitt Danny says Milo is interning for MTG. I'm going to need a source on that. Because that's a show right there. I'd love to see Milo Yiannopoulos talk Marjorie Taylor Greene into federalizing his college for white boys grant.
I am trying to show you that we can live between what we want and what is. But we can't pretend like we are two of the few people on Earth that can actually protect her, which is why we have to make sure of your ability to tolerate the stress and regulate your emotions, especially your anger.
Well, here's the thing, Bruce.
Okay.
Here we go. Just look. Just let it.
There's a reason I'm pausing here. There's an important reason I'm pausing here. Because I don't want to let the clip play for too long, uninterrupted, while we're reacting to it, for copyright reasons. Right now, it's still fair use.
Great at controlling my anger. I do it all the time. When I'm catcalled in the street, when incompetent men explain my own area of expertise to me, I do it pretty much every day, because if I don't, I will get called emotional or difficult, or I might just literally get murdered. So I'm an...
Okay. Liar.
No.
And I want to take them one at a time.
Well, let's finish it out at least, and then
No.
take it.
No. We're going to take them one at a time.
Especially your anger.
Well, here's the thing, Bruce. I'm great at controlling my anger. I do it all the time. When I'm catcalled in the street...
Bullshit.
Okay, so there's two levels of commentary here. There's the canonical commentary, and then there's the meta commentary that's on top of the canonical commentary. And so, let's just start with the meta commentary. You're telling me that a dude going, hey baby, you want to come home with me, can send you into a blind Hulk-like rage, and you think you're making the point that women have self-control. Because that is not the point you are making. In fact, there's a whole bunch of comics that you would call misogynist that would actually 100% agree with you that if you say one wrong word to a woman, she's likely to tear your face off. But I suspect that's not the point you were trying to make. That's the point you ended up making. But that's not the point you're trying to make. No.
Yeah, and no husband has ever spent a day tiptoeing around the wife and trying desperately not to say something as deeply offensive as, honey, I'm going to step outside and mow the grass. For fear that, hey, you know what? I've forgotten to put a new trash bag in the can after I took the trash out.
Honey, what's wrong? Nothing. But I'm fine. Okay. Sure. If you tell me what's wrong, maybe I can help fix it.
And the whole catcall thing, bullshit. Just bullshit.
That's the other piece of it, too.
And
yes.
I will make a conceit here. In fairness, I live in the South. I grew up in the South. And down here we have we have at least the veneer of raising our boys to be gentlemen and to treat ladies properly. So it is fair to say that her lived experience is not my lived experience. And she does come from, the actress, the writers at least, come from, places like New York and Los Angeles, where they're surrounded by weak, inadequate, immoral men.
Yeah, that don't understand how to actually get a woman to go home and have sex with you. So you've got to...
Right,
it's the
because
net
they're all
theory.
pedophiles. I mean, Democrats.
It's the net theory. You throw a net in the water and you drag it out. You'll at least catch a couple of fish.
Right, and I mean, we're talking about guys who go and hang out in trashy bars looking for a one-night stand. They're not forward thinking enough to go and find their wife at, say, a library or a college or a church.
I don't know that a college is the best. Your point stands.
Okay, you're right. You're right.
Your overall point stands, but college. All right, so
you're right. College chicks are kind of like lesbians. You're not saving them.
Well, and this thing about catcalling, like, in all seriousness, Chris and I were talking about it before the show. I've never catcalled a woman. Ever. Okay? And I can count on one hand the number of times I have observed a woman get catcalled. So, this whole thing about, man, it's so aggravating getting catcalled. Look, women look like this. I'm so tired of getting catcalled.
Honey, no, you're not.
No, you are not.
No, you're not, honey.
I could guarantee you are not. Not everybody looks like She-Hulk here. And even the women that look like She-Hulk. There was this really illustrative thing that happened one time with Chris and I at Hooters. Chris actually got a date with a Hooters waitress. And I was like, we asked her, so wait, how did that happen? And she explained, he asked. A lot of men are actually intimidated. They think, Hooters waitress, already got a boyfriend and blah, 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 blah. So, it's actually nice to get a little bit of attention that doesn't come from getting a tip. And it's like, wow, man, that's an interesting thing to know. So you're not getting catcalled, and women that look like her are probably also not getting catcalled for so many reasons. Like, seriously, shut up with the catcall thing already. Nobody believes it. I know it sounds good, but like literally on every level that we can discuss, it's stupid.
Well, and like the image that they paint for you is like you've got this skyscraper going up and there's all these construction workers and they're all just kind of hanging out, on the ground level waiting for women to walk by and catcall at them. Like,
no, they're not.
It's like when you're going down the freeway and the cops have somebody pulled over and everybody hits their brake lights. It's like, he's busy, son. He's busy. He doesn't give a shit about you. Just keep driving.
So just funny point of fact, police are allowed to pull over more than one car at a time.
Yeah, I've actually been party to that occurrence.
So I understand your logic, but in reality, if a cop wants to tell the guy he's already got pulled over, you don't fucking move, and he goes and pulls you over, he is absolutely allowed to do that.
Okay, so quick little anecdote. On our wedding day, no, I'm sorry, it was the day before the wedding day. Wife and I had borrowed my dad's truck because we were both in town from California on leave, and we're driving to the lake house from here in Dad's truck, and this cop pulled over three or four cars at one time, myself being one of them, and he basically, he comes by blowing the lights, everybody pulls over, he turns around, and like as he drives by, he's just hanging his head out his hand out the window, and he just points at each of us, right? Like, letting us know to stay there, goes to the back of the line, gets out and walks up the line. He stops at the first car, and we can clearly hear the guy at the back before the cop gets there. Hey, I've got a pistol on me, but I've got a concealed carry license. What do you want me to do with it? Just leave it on the dash, man. Okay, cool, brother. And he walks by, and I see him tap the car and say something to the guy, and then he comes up and he talks to me. He says, "Y'all just hang on just a minute. I'm going to go tell these guys to wait, and then I'll get you on the way back." And the car in front of us is a little red sports car with some teeny boppers in it. And he stops by on the way back to us, and he saw the service sticker, because we got the sticker to get on base on the windshield. And he said, "You active duty, son?" I was like, "Yes, sir." "You're doing about 10 miles over." I'm like, I guess I don't know that, but or at least I won't admit it out loud. "Well, thank you for your service. You just slow it down." "Yes, sir." Took off. That was a fun little adventure on the back roads out there in Putnam County.
Anyhow, but calls. And,
to your point, it happens.
Yes. Anyhow, but cat calls don't happen. Biscuits and Gravy in the chat says, "I once worked with a guy who would howl like a dog." I bet he was not terribly popular, unless there's more to that howl like a dog story. Right. I bet he was not terribly popular, and I bet he was the only one. Because even other men find that kind of behavior really disgusting. It's like, but dude, what are you doing? Shut up. Okay, like the trope of, I've been to the bar and I've had too much to drink and now I'm going to yell at a woman. If I've been to a bar and I've had too much to drink and you start yelling around me at all, we have an entirely separate set of fucking problems. Okay? So stop with this cat call bullshit. All right, we've done enough on cat calls. Let's keep going.
When incompetent men explain my own area of expertise to me, I do it pretty much every day, because if I...
Okay, that one.
Mansplain.
Bullshit. You're a liar. And here's how I know. You're telling me that you go out of your office away from people in your profession and inform them of what profession you are in to begin the conversation, where somebody who is not a member of your profession is then somehow compelled to explain the profession to you. I'm going to say I doubt that seriously. So what you're really trying to tell me is that you have the personal opinion of another group of people based on an immutable characteristic, that they have the gender of male, that makes them incompetent, despite the fact that they are your peers and colleagues within the same profession. It might be you. Like, if a lot of incompetent lawyers suddenly feel the need to explain things to you, right? There's 37,000 Marines on this base, and then the chick in the front screams, "And every one of them's a bad fuck." And you're like, honey, maybe it's you. I mean, if every other lawyer in the office feels the need to explain your profession to you, it really might not be that they're incompetent. It might be that every single other one of them who has a similar education, has similarly passed the bar, is similarly qualified to hold the profession that you hold, sees that you need some explanation. If I've got a battalion of soldiers out on the firing line doing qualification, and I have to stop by the feminist with the rocker under her 3 stripes and tell her, "Put the bullets in the gun pointed at the enemy." Right, hand me that magazine.
No, look, what's time?
Damn it.
This is an airsoft
They go
prop.
that way, sweetheart.
Airsoft prop.
They go the other way, sweetheart. So,
but it gets better.
she's lying. And then, and remember, this whole thing is her talking about how well she can control her anger, and she doesn't need the Hulk's help. She don't need no man to help her.
I will get called emotional or difficult, or I might just literally get murdered. So
Bullshit.
Well, we even have a meme that addresses this. We literally have a meme that addresses this point. Like, women argue and get murdered since when? Since that's not... Oh, my God. Sean, yes, thank you. I mean, it gets better, it gets worse. Not the fact that it gets better, it gets better. And then we've got Alex coming in with some of that fantastic British snark saying, boy, you'd think the big green guy would be the unbelievable part.
Yeah. Men make up almost 80% of all homicide victims.
Well,
Just saying.
Yeah. Just...
They also account for more rape victims. But...
Yeah, like there's literally I forget what it's called, but there's an act that's called something like a Stop Rape in Prison Act, and it's entirely focused on stopping the rape of women.
Yeah.
Just saying. Just saying. All right, let's finish this out because there's a little bit more to
You can
it.
solve that problem real quick. Stop putting men in women's prisons. I don't care what color his dress is.
So I'm an expert at controlling my anger because I do it infinitely more than you. So all of this just feels like projecting a lot of shit onto me.
See.
No, I'm doing this.
Okay, this is completely new territory.
It's not completely new territory.
No.
Psychotic third-wave feminists have been around
And they think they're
for
better than
almost as
everything.
long as the Hulk comic.
And they're better than you at everything. Everything you could do, I could do better. Really? How about fucking push-ups?
Oh yeah, a woman can totally do as many push-ups as a man. I mean, she doesn't have to in order to get the same pay as a man in the military, but she totally could.
Look, and to be fair, there are things women can do that men can't. Like, y'all have a womb. Like, y'all literally control society. I seriously, but the older I get, the more I believe that society is actually secretly run by women. They let us go be men. That's what they do. They allow us to go be men and fight with each other and potentially kill each other and work ourselves to death against each other. Right. And they have the babies and benefit from it. And yeah.
Alex is asking, how does she become a Hulk?
Oh my God, Alex! I'm not. Woo!
And
no.
I'm not going to address the latter half of that, other than to say no. I haven't read the She-Hulk comics.
This
is not one of the
continuity.
sets of comics that I read a lot of.
Okay, in this continuity, she and Bruce are cousins. They get into a car crash. He has to save her life. She's exposed to some of his blood as part of that process. And that's how she has some Hulk stuff going on, and it's edited very poorly. It's like there's no tension to it whatsoever. Pilot episodes are tough.
It's like MacGuffin.
I mean, pilot episodes are tough, but I would agree with that, except I've seen shows like Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones. Pilot episodes could be great, honestly. Yeah. Look, there's also an entire other level of commentary here. There's the meta commentary, like how stupid the cat call thing is, for example. But there's also the canonical commentary. She, with her law degree and her high-powered job and her awesome life and everything, she is talking to a character who was abused as a child by his father with medical experiments, has been pursued by the military for his entire life for those very same medical experiments, has had not one but two life partners lost to him, again because of those very same medical experiments, has been a pariah his entire life because he didn't know how to control this thing that was done to him, this ultimate level of violation that turned him into Jekyll and Hyde. When his big moment finally came and he had an opportunity to stop Thanos, he was simply unprepared to deal with a character that was every bit as strong as him, and he got humiliated and bodied, and then on top of all of that got to watch the genocide of half of the people ever, but
for which he had a reasonable expectation of feeling personally accountable.
But don't you worry, honey, you getting catcalled's every bit as bad as all of that.
Yeah.